Yes, I know I'm going to be using Fortnite footage. I'm not trying to make a statement about Fortnite. I know there's probably going to be some people in the comments being like, wow, you play Fortnite? It's like, dude, I just had the gameplay already. I wanted some background gameplay. It is what it is. I'm not trying to freaking say Fortnite's cool or anything like that. I got comments like that in my last video, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, the video. I'm going to discuss one or two things that really bother me about the Act Man. Now, just as a disclaimer, I love the Act Man. Love this guy's channel. I've been watching him for like a few years now. Point is, I've been watching this dude for a while, and I really like his content, and I watch every one of his videos every time they come out. So, I'm not no hater or anything like that. I'm just explaining two things that bother me, and I'm hoping that he sees this video, maybe even makes like a mini video on this, or like addresses this video in some way, maybe even leaves a comment or something like that, because I want to see what his opinions are about these two problems that I have with him so far. And it's not really with him, it's just with things that he's done in the past that have somewhat bothered me a little bit. The first thing, which to be fair, I'll say this, I'm not even 100% sure that this is even a real thing. He wants Call of Duty Blackout to feature maps that were made from Infinity Ward. For example, Crash and Rust. Those are the two examples he made.
To be fair, I am kind of surprised they didn't choose Rust or Crash. I don't know, I feel like some of their map choices could have been a lot better and more recognizable.
The thing is that doesn't really work like that. Granted, I looked it up, I tried to look it up. I was like looking on the internet, scouring the internet to see what's the actual legal reason why Treyarch can't do remakes of Infinity Ward maps. And honestly, I couldn't find it. So, people always point to Call of Duty World War II, which was made by Sledgehammer, made remakes of Modern Warfare maps, to which I say, yeah, you're right. And that's kind of a weird phenomenon. I don't know why they were given the legal rights to make those maps, considering that they didn't even work on the development at all. But something I did want people to consider is the fact that Sledgehammer was a solely exclusive Call of Duty developer that was specifically made to handle the people that left after making Modern Warfare 2. Those people who got fired and ended up making Titanfall. Yeah, those people that got replaced were Sledgehammer. So they were specifically made for the purposes of working with Infinity Ward. So they're pretty much a big part of Infinity Ward. But eventually they split off and yada yada yada. What about Treyarch? Well, Treyarch has been making games for Activision well before the invention of the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty series started with Infinity Ward, and Treyarch started adding on to the games. They were never part of the same group. They were never part of the same company. Obviously, they are very heavily inspired off of each other, but that's the reason why in Infinite Warfare, for example, you have different perk names. You don't have the OG classic Call of Duty perk names. The point I'm trying to make is that these companies don't just easily intermingle like that for some complicated legal reasons. And to be fair, I don't know what the reasons are. I tried to look them up, but I honestly couldn't really find anything. So if you can find anything, please let me know in the link below, or in the comment. Leave a link or whatever the case may be so I could check it out, because I couldn't find anything. The second thing that bothers me is the fact that he assumed that the reason why swastikas were banned was because people found them offensive.
I'm basically a broken record at this point in regards to Nazi zombies. Oops, can I still say Nazi? Oh shit, don't ban me from Battlefield 5, DICE. I'm sorry.
Which, I guess, to somebody who doesn't understand how legal stuff works, yeah, I guess I can understand your point of view, but, let's set the record straight. That's not the reason why, okay? The reason why they had to censor swastikas from the game is because they're banned in Germany. The reason why they're banned in Germany is because of this law called Strafgesetzbuch, Section 86A, or 86A. This specifically outlaws the rights to use swastikas or any Nazi imagery or communist imagery in German media, and that includes video games. I know that the law was recently uplifted. By the time Black Ops 3 was made, the law was still in effect. What does this mean? That means that Black Ops 3 couldn't have any swastika imagery in the game whatsoever. Now, why does it matter that it has to be DLC? Well, the reason why is because when you're looking back at other previous Call of Duty games that had swastikas, like Call of Duty World at War and Black Ops 1, they had specific special agreements that they wouldn't share the game in Germany, or that they would provide specially censored versions of the game to Germany. AKA, if you bought the game and played the game with the German version, you could literally only play with other German players, or at least I think that's how it works. But even if that wasn't the case, here's the thing. Black Ops 3 wasn't a World War II game, so they had no problem signing an agreement that they would not show any Nazi imagery in the game whatsoever, which that didn't bother anybody. Because it's not a World War II game, it wouldn't be a quote-unquote historically inaccurate if you didn't see swastikas. They're legally required to remove them because they already signed that contract saying they would not remove swastikas. AKA, they can't just make the game bannable in Germany all of a sudden because of a DLC. That is pretty much the equivalent of having an E-rated soccer game, or whatever the case may be, and coming out with a DLC that has blood and violence and swearing. You can't do that. It's an E-rated game. You already signed agreements saying that you would not nor ever add content that doesn't follow the regulations that you already signed. So you can't all of a sudden create a DLC that doesn't fall under those regulations without getting serious legal trouble. They didn't just all of a sudden want to get the game banned in Germany. All the people who bought games in Germany would have their games, taken away. If they bought them online, they would have them removed from the store. There's a bunch of nonsense going on just because they want to add more swastikas into the game, when realistically, you shouldn't really be caring too much about the stuff anyways. Anyways, that's really all I have to say about this. These two things are really the only thing that bother me about the Atman. And they were only in two specific videos. And, hopefully he watches these videos and realizes, oh, you know what, that's a good point. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Peace. Let me also add a little bit of an interlude here. I don't know why people on the internet were getting so upset about the fact that in one DLC for Call of Duty World War II, there were two remakes. Why are people upset about this now? Literally, both Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, for their final DLCs, had two remakes. I don't know why people weren't complaining about it back then. I sure wasn't complaining about it back then. The people who were talking about this didn't even address this. Plus, I like remakes, okay? I love Wasteland and Chinatown and Skyrise. All those maps, I think they're pretty great remakes. Let's not even bring up Modern Warfare 2. Literally half of all of the maps for the Modern Warfare 2 DLCs were remakes. So if you're going to talk about remakes, at least address the other remakes that were made so we kind of have an understanding of how much knowledge you have of the series. Now, I know that the law was recently uplifted, but at the time that Black Ops 4, I know that the law was recently uplifted, but at the time, I know that why does this matter? Well, the reason why is because when you're talking about, why does this matter? Okay. You know why they're banned in Germany? Because of this law called, hold on, give me 1 second, I gotta look it up again. I wanted to view something, because I wanted to read it again, but for whatever reason, it closed. Like, I can't close it, so I'm going to have to open my task manager and close it so I can open it again. I'll just look up swastika ban, and I'll look up Germany swastika ban. I'm also editing all of this out, Germanite.